Getting it right and getting it first. Those are the two biggest tasks right now that await an Illinois-based firm who is searching for the next superintendent for Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools. School board members voted unanimously today to hire BWP Associates. Queen City News reporter Daniel Pierce joins us now live in the studio. Daniel, the big question now is when will this firm begin looking for candidates?
Yeah, well, I was told that it started today with the finalization of vacancy position postings. Now, the managing director with the firm is going to be actually going to the Association of School Administration's national conference next week in San Antonio to try and find potential candidates, just really get the ball rolling. The district still wants to find someone by late spring, a doable timeline, I'm told, but one that requires a lot to go right.
What does the board, what does the community have to do to meet this ambitious timeline?
It does mean that people are going to have to move it. They're going to have to, they are not going to be allowed to take 3 weeks to decide if they want to do this or, we have a deadline, we have pieces to move.
There is a big fight across the country to find qualified and tested candidates to lead school districts into the future of education. Illinois-based firm BWP Associates is now helping 6 districts find their match, a task that will be harder for Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools.
People are retiring. Education is a hard field to work in with the kind of the political climate that we're in relative to education. And given that with the number of school districts in the United States, only about 2% have student populations that are 100,000 or more. And so that automatically limits the number of people.
CMS leaders chose BWP Associates because of its prior searches and how that reflected the community. Its history of long-term hires, and it works with districts for the first 100 days of a superintendent's hire.
Their knowledge is additional knowledge and guide for us as a board to make sure that we are staying and doing the work and working with the community. So it's extremely important that we get this right.
In its 24-page presentation to the board, BWP outlined its plans to launch recruitment efforts between now and March 17th, review applications by the end of March, screen candidates, prepare board members for interviews, and conduct interviews of its 4 to 6 candidates by the early part of April. And then have those interviews wrapped up in time to employ a new superintendent by May 2023.
We, really screen carefully people who have hopped, skipped, and jumped from one place to another. When we come to the Board of Education with a slate of candidates, we're pretty assured that that person meets that criteria of the leadership profile at about an 80% level.
There's a lot of people who are going to apply for this job, or we can go tap for this job, but what's really important is making sure we talk to all of those and then actually figuring out who fits for Charlotte-Mecklenburg County.
And whenever we talk about the assessment of candidates, I want to read from part of that presentation that was given. What this firm is going to look at is making sure that whoever it is able to have exemplify the ability to improve student outcomes and close opportunity gaps for students of color, English learners, students with disabilities, and students of low socioeconomic status. Not just making sure that they were able to do this where they previously came from, but making sure that they're able to replicate that success here in Charlotte. Brian?
All right, Daniel Pierce, yeah, certainly a lot to get done here in the next few days here on this. Thank you for that report. And also, the search for a permanent superintendent in Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools started last April. The CMS board voted out former superintendent Ernest Winston after he was criticized for his handling of the pandemic and reports of sexual assault. Hugh Hannabaugh was brought in as the interim. He was set to stay in that position until June of 2023, but left at the end of 2022 due to family reasons. Crystal Hill was hired in December to temporarily fill the superintendent role until a permanent hire is chosen.